Welcome in, everybody. We are live on Sunday. Happy Sunday. Once again, sad news. Another assassination attempt on President Trump. Good news is President Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago. Happened overnight. And another young, why are so many young people doing this? This is the third attempt on President Trump. There's been many and other presidents. Very, very sad. And what do we do about it? So today's segment is how do we prevent these assassination attempts on the president, the Pope, and so on and so forth. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal. Welcome in. Just sad, this morning I found out about it. I was going to come on live. I just wanted to get some more details. An armed suspect who was shot and killed at Mar-a-Lago overnight. And as Trump was not there, he had some gasoline and he had to put that down, this young 21-year-old, I believe. And but then he pointed the rifle at the Secret Service police. And then he was at that point pronounced deceased. Once again, guys, what do we do about it? How do we prevent this on either side, president? It doesn't matter what side, they are the president. It has to stop. We have to teach our children. Is it the nation that we're the new generation being brought up? Is it too much video games? Hello, everybody, come on in. Let's talk. Hello, Janine. Hello. It's very sad and breaking my heart. Now, President Trump was not there. He was in Washington, but this guy was from North Carolina. I do have a photo. I'm not going to put it up because we're not 100% it's him, so I don't like to have any problems. It's just sad. As overnight, the police were on scene. Hello, Sudi Wave. Always good to see you. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm down today a little bit because it just breaks my heart. Not because I'm a supporter of President Trump. I don't want to see it happen on either side. I truly mean that. I don't care if it's Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, our future president. It should not ever happen. Never. And thank goodness that, President Trump had great security. Now, what's going to happen next? Will Trump go ahead and intense the security at Mar-a-Lago? Are we on red alert? And the question I have for the chat, Ozzy, hello, is what can we do about it? Well, in my view, all we can do is try, right, Ozzy? But I think parents need to communicate with their children better. I think politics should not be at the kitchen table anymore. I think we should raise our kids on their choice. Explain things. If you don't like President Trump, but explain that they are the president. You would never ever have think about this. If you want to talk about it with your parents, talk about it. Express those feelings, because we're seeing it a lot more now with this younger generation. I just want to stop for a moment. Hey, Fabian, always good to see you, my friend. God bless you. I hope you're doing well. High five, fist bump. Yeah, today our topic today is going to be on another assassination attempt. I don't like it. I don't want to see it on the Pope. I don't want to see it on a Democrat president. It has to stop. I don't know what we can do. I was talking to my son. He plays video games. In my opinion, just because kids play video games doesn't mean that they're going to do this. But how much is too much? How much violence should be in video games? I don't have the answer to that. Only, as a parent who raises kids. But I will share this. We are certainly seeing it. We've seen it on the assassination attempt on Trump and Butler. We've now seen it again. We've seen many more of attempts. Ronald Reagan and John F. Kennedy. They all seem to be, younger. And it has to stop, certainly right now. Appreciate you guys being here. It's just terrible. It's terrible that these acts of violence are happening to anybody. I mean, we've been covering Nancy Guthrie now for 2 weeks, elderly people, but on the president of the United States. Come on, it has to stop. And I still think that there needs to be better communication among our generation. Maybe the grandfather needs to step in. Maybe the grandmom needs to step in. Maybe an older brother. You don't have to force to like President Trump. You don't have to do anything in life but pay taxes and be with the Lord. But Where's that communication? Where are we? Where's the communication with our children? Because we know a lot of it's mental illness, but and we can't blame the parents. I'm not saying blame the parents in this situation on the man in North Carolina, but there's got to be more conversations around the table at night, particularly if the kids, even whether they live at home or they live away. We got to, no, just use his name. Hey, Joe Smo. Hey, what's going on in your life? How's everything going? How's everything going? How's everything going in school? How's work? How's girlfriends? How's boyfriends? What do you think? What do you think about politics? Ask them these things. Ask them. What do you think? And then if they come out and say, well, we hate Trump so much. Okay, why do you hate it? Let's talk. There's got to be a role model. We can't just be agitating fuel to the fire. And also social media. Where's it stop with social media? A lot of you've been subscribing to me. A lot of you know I support Trump for my reasons, but I've never once, would say, and a lot of you know how I feel about the other side. But you never ever hear those words out of me saying do some horrible things. But I think a lot of it is coming from our news outlets, like it or not, CNN, Fox, CNBC. It's too much. I've said this last night. We're covering Nancy Guthrie. I think it needs to stop. I think it doesn't need to run 24 hours a day. I think even with this Nancy Guthrie, I think it becomes a little too much. And I think more communication. Now, said that, even with the communication, parents only could do so much, but we got to do more and try. And I don't have all the questions, but I do know communication will help. But yes, overnight, once again, let me get rid of the green screen just for a second. Donald Trump, once again, this was the first attempt here. He is the president of the United States. Look, a lot of you know how I felt about Barack Obama. I never voted, I wouldn't support him. But when he was president, there was a lot of bad friends of mine who wished him harm on his race and said a lot of bad things. And I would say, stop it. Well, you support Barack Obama? No. But we're not going to hear these bad things. So, it has to stop. The kids need to hear that from us as well. Right? Because, and I think it can help. So, PTS, appreciate that. Appreciate the gift. Thank you so much for being here. It's sad, guys. I mean, it's a president out there, whether you care for him or you don't give a shit about him. Maybe you don't even care about politics. It has to stop today. I encourage everybody, whether you have kids at 18, grandkids at 15, 20, 25 years old, I always have a conversation. What's going on in your life? Ask, how can I help? What can I do? Not just politics, everything. How can we make things better? And then if you see anything or they're acting different, then maybe they need some professional help out there, And that, what? That just doesn't go for our youth. It goes to us as well. Maybe we need to take a couple deep breaths and settle down. So once again, guys, it's just sad. We're going to listen to Fox a little bit.
It is being spewed at a time when, as you say, the Department of Homeland Security is being sort of held hostage in Washington because Democrats aren't happy with what the president is doing, so they're not funding the agency.
Now, right now, we have a lot going on, in politics, like we always do.
Yeah, John, you nailed it. The word hatred. Hatred is just a horrible word. It's a horrible emotion that creates.
Once again, armed suspect was shot and killed at Mar-a-Lago overnight at 1:30 in the morning.
They can't separate right from wrong, reality from unreality. This is a psychosis. It's not just Trump derangement syndrome now. This is a full-blown psychosis. We see it more and more as we go across our states and meet people. We see this venom out there. And again, I'm just begging the national media, social media, turn your algorithms down.
Right.
This focus of making people mad and making them hate is what leads to incidences like this.
You're on the Budget Committee as well as the Senate Finance Committee. What's it going to take to get DHS funded again?
Yeah, this is going to turn down to a negotiation between Chuck Schumer and President Trump. Let's face it, all the Democrats can hang on to is this defund the police policy, which doesn't work. I think the American people 80-20 want law and order. So we have to stand tall as Republicans, and hopefully the political clamor from back home will get the Democrats to the negotiating table again and realize that we want to fund the police, that we want law and order, that we want to secure borders as well. So, and it may take some planes being held up as well because of the air traffic control people.
Welcome in, Steve. Sounds like he was a troubled guy. I'm not sure why Mar-a-Lago has Secret Service when I thought they did, Steve. I thought they did a pretty good job. I mean, I'm sure President Trump will address this. I haven't heard anything come out of X yet on any kind of tweets other than he was proud of the U.S. Hey, U.S. hockey won the gold first time since 1980. But I haven't heard any tweets. I'm sure he's going to come out and speak on. I'm sure he's mad. I'm sure he's probably saying, "Hey, what do we need to do to keep my life, my wife's life safe? Our vice president is safe." And what to go more, I like to hear the words, how do we make Republican presidents, Democrat presidents, future leaders in general safer to go into their own home and have a young guy travel from North Carolina to Florida and middle of the night and raise a gun and ready to start a fire. Literally try to burn down Mar-a-Lago. Think about it, folks. Think about it. Think about if Trump was there. Maybe the fire starts. Innocent people could get hurt as well. So I think I like to hear from me. I don't know if we're going to hear it, and I'm a big supporter of President Trump. Maybe we need to hear words like, source we're intensified our Secret Service or security. We're not going to tolerate it on either side. So maybe the words need to come out like that. But also, King Jeffries and the other side, Chuck Schumer, sorry, that guy is a real piece of shit. Maybe he needs to come out and say, look, I'm not a Trump supporter, and thank you. Thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Maybe he needs to come. Maybe they need to see a handshake. I don't know what it is. They don't have to agree on everything. But maybe Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrat Party, maybe it's time for his old ass to stand up and say, hey, it has to stop. I encourage people. We're not here to, you don't have to support President Trump. You don't have to support the Democrat Party. But the hateful things and our generation to come has to stop. If you want to do something about it, go out and vote. If you don't like President Trump, you don't like how the leadership is happening right now, then go out and vote for your party. And same thing on the Republican side. So that needs to be addressed on both sides. I'm not so sure if it's going to happen, but I think if it does happen, it can cure some of these future events because it's going to happen again. Folks, it's going to happen again. I said this before. And, look what happened to Butler. A little bit more. Trump's not with us. I'm not going to get into this, that, whatever on today's topic, but it really needs to be cured. We have to work on this. Maybe more doctors and psychiatrists need to come on into panel instead of bad-mouthing both sides. Maybe it has to stop. Maybe Fox News needs to push it back. Maybe CNN really needs to push it back. I don't think we're going to see that either. What I think is going to happen is, I said this yesterday with the Nancy Guthrie, I think you're going to have less news coverage. I personally think in 2-3 years, they're off the air. CNN, CNBC, News Nation, Fox, all of them, they'll have it online and have the viewers come in and interact. Maybe that's where we need to lead. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, people just don't understand no more. Yeah, I mean, it's just to go to get a gun, a rifle, a fire, and go to Mar-a-Lago and attempt to assassinate the President of the United States. Now, parents, according to the news, the parents have put out a missing on this guy. on the son. I forget his name, Jacob, I think it was. So, just crazy, crazy. Ozzy Crosby, hey, shout out and a hand of applause for and a high five fist bump to Mr. Ozzy Crosby, celebrating and says, good afternoon, 7 months of a membership. Thank you so much and helping out and supporting the homeless. We appreciate both Ozzy's and everybody else on here. And thank you, moderators, for being on here on this Sunday as we're talking about the breaking news overnight around 1:30 in the morning, Mar-a-Lago, as another third assassination attempt that we know of on President Donald Trump. Let's see here. Remember when there was 30 minutes of news at night? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now we have 24 hours over and over. Sandra, how are you? Good afternoon. Good to see you. And speaking of membership, we appreciate it. Appreciate Janine being here. Yeah, I do. I remember when 30 minutes of news, and I think we need to go back to that. I think even with the Nancy Guthrie situation, missing people, I think it has to go back to 30 minutes, an hour, something has to be addressed. Now, let me ask you guys, do you think video games, I'm going to ask this question, do you think video games among young adults, young children, some older adults, do we need to evaluate the video games? Or is video games causing this? Are video games being played causing some of this mass destruction, assassination attempts, shootings, kidnapping, violence? Matt says no. Welcome in, Rebecca. Do we think that video games need to be modified? I'm not saying stop. Do we need to, keep an eye on our children a little bit more? What's your thoughts? Let's see here. Steve says video games is the same argument as heavy metal in the 1980s. Bad argument. Great comment. Interesting. Very good comment. Like that, Steve. Kids shouldn't be having kids. Yeah. What do we do? What do we do as a nation? What do we do on the politics? How do we have conversations? I mean, a lot of you might not know this. I share this with you. My whole house is mixed up, Who's a Trump supporter? Who doesn't even care about politics? Who's a Democrat? But at the end of the day, we still have dinner together. And I think there's a lot of yous on here who have a son, a daughter, who's on opposite side. I guarantee you guys still call them up. I love you. Guarantee you have Christmas together. I guarantee you there's conversations being held. You probably say, though, this is why I support Trump. And I'm sure they're saying this is why I support the other side. We try to have a conversation, but we respect. We should always respect on, what their views are. Majority of younger people, including myself when I was young, either didn't care about politics or were Democrat. As you get older, a lot of us change on our views, change what's helping the household, and we turn to be more conservative. Just because we're conservative and our child or relatives are on the other side, like my mom, who passed away as a Democrat, doesn't mean you have these hateful conversations. So we have to have more conversations among the households, particularly our children, in my opinion. And I think that could put it's not going to prevent it at zero. Look, you're still going to have people that wake up and go crazy. I know that. You guys know that. But man, we could put a dent into it. It has to stop. And now this guy's deceased at 21 years old. He's deceased because he didn't put down his weapon. He put down the gas. He pointed the weapon. And now he's deceased. Father and mother have no son. Trump, I'm sure, is worried. Yes, even though he's tough and he's a leader, he's got to be worried. He'll never say it, but he's got to be worried. He's worried about himself. He's worried about his wife. He's worried about his family, his grandkids, future presidents on both sides. He'll never say it, but it's true. It really has to stop. We should not have to wake up and have to hear another assassination on President Trump or on a future president. All by design. Ozzy Crosby says, all by design. What do we do? What's your thoughts? What do we do? How do we protect our presidents? How do we protect the Pope? How do we protect our parties? I mean, we've seen it. Shapiro. We've seen it on Shapiro. Democrat in Pennsylvania. They go in his house. Should never happen. We see it on Nancy Pelosi's husband. Right? We've seen it. People go in. Both sides. But most recently, now why are there more attempts on President Trump? Yep. Why are we having more attempts on President Trump? Well, it's simply one answer. He's out there more. He's talking more. He's interviewing more. Oh, I hear you, Ozzy Crosby. Yeah, they do that sometimes. Hey, Dustin, how are you? Let me read Dustin Nunez's comment. It's all be coming from the left, CNN, MSNBC, NBC. These people need to be perspective. He's spreading video. Yeah, but, Dustin, thank you. But we do see a little bit on the other side, too. Let's be honest, right? It goes a little too far on both sides. I mean, I like Hannity a lot. I really do. But I see it go a little too much on there as well. I'm not saying that they're acting out like act of violence, but I want to be honest. I see it. It goes a little bit too much. And I think that's why somebody just said a little while ago when they remember 30 minutes of news. So maybe we need to back up on that. I think we will. I think we're going to see it. But not by choice. We're not going to see it because of CNN and Fox and MSNBC and all them just stop. No, it's because they're going to lose. They are losing. Why? Who are they losing to? They're losing to YouTube, independent journalists, Facebook, Instagram, us. They're losing to the people like us. Not that we're perfect, but people want to interact on a live, get their expressions, maybe to get timed out by YouTube. That would be the worst, but at least they get their point across on here. Their frustration, they can interact with us on a topic, whether it's a blizzard. By the way, speaking of blizzard, we have a major blizzard. Prayers for people and family I have in New Jersey. Blizzard condition, Boston, they're talking 2 feet of snow. But yeah, it needs to stop. We cannot be waking up anymore or turning on the news and hearing it over and over and over. And I think they're on their last leg. And I'm telling you, heard it here. I've said this multiple times. We're 2 years away at the most. You're not going to see him on the air. You're going to see him on YouTube. You're going to see podcasts. You're going to see like Hannity. I don't know about Hannity. He's getting old. You're going to see these new journalists sponsored by Fox, sponsored by CNN, sponsored by MSNBC, sponsored by ABC, NBC. And they're going to have their YouTube channel. They're going to come on every day, have a 30-minute, an hour, hour and a half a segment, and welcome everybody in and talk about what's going on. And then people can express their feelings online, live.
Not getting their paychecks as well. So time will tell. It's disappointing.
So if you're just coming in, once again, another assassination attempt. This is 3 assassination attempts on President Donald
Reggie
Trump.
Dinkins. Check your local listings.
Hello, everyone. I am Tommy Lahren, along with Joey Jones, Molly Line, and Mark Thiessen, and welcome to the Big Weekend Show. The big story tonight. A historic victory for Team USA today in the Olympics. The men's hockey team.
I hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday. And for those that are living back east, make sure you get out there and get your food, your pet food and all that stuff, because they're talking a foot, 2 feet of snow, everywhere from New Jersey, Delaware, all the way to Boston. Everybody be safe, stay home, watch YouTube, watch movies, Netflix. Cartels have declared war in Mexico. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. We could talk about that too. The leader of the cartels was killed last night.
Proud to be American. It was a great morning for this country.
No, it is. I love this. I mean, hockey is one of those sports.
Mexico's on fire.
They're playing against. I'm sure they play with in the NHL.
Ozzy says, I'm in New Hampshire over here. I'm ready. I got everything I need. I got everything I need. I got the booze. I got the cigars. I'm only kidding. That's good. Stay safe, Ozzy, Crosby. Brian, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So this storm, real quick to go off topic a little bit, this storm is a little different from the storm a month ago. This is warmer temperatures, so heavy wet snow. But the good news in the forecast from the meteorologist, in the middle of next week it's going to warm up, so hopefully some of it will melt. But it's going to be tough tonight and tomorrow and Tuesday. Do not travel to Mexico, somebody says.
It was amazing to see.
For the next year, they will be kidnapping Americans. It's already been announced.
They had a political statement to make that wasn't.
There's people on here that we cover in Nancy Guthrie think that Mexico is involved in kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie. Hope everybody's doing well. Once again, shout out to the United States USA hockey team. They won the gold, and the women won the gold. That's great. That's good news. They won the gold. Good for them. Mexico kidnappers.
These are from 18 different NHL teams. They're going to come.
Summer Sweet Tea, always a pleasure to see you in here and your support. We appreciate you. Thank you, Summer Sweet Tea.
Everybody was watching. You know, there's not other sports going on. This is the stuff to see right now. All together as one, as the country.
Early in the morning, Mark, I know you're a hockey fan, and this one is incredibly special for you as well.
Sal Pacino. Sal Pacino, somebody says, yeah. Big boss. Sal Pacino, I'm watching again. Thank you. Linda says, I'm in Arizona. I'm close to Mexico. Linda says. Close to Mexico. Yeah, the Nancy Guthrie, not much going on today. They had just to bring everybody up to date, because I know we've been covering that for the last 2 weeks already. No whereabouts, local search on public ground. That's about it. No other details on that. Still waiting for DNA to come back.
Earlier today, two special agents from the Secret Service and a deputy from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office were involved in an officer-involved shooting while responding to an armed individual at one of the gates at Mar-a-Lago. Preliminary information indicates that the individual was armed with a shotgun and a possession of a gasoline canister. Agents and the deputy discharged their firearms to stop the threat.
Yes, 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin entered through the north gate around 1:30 in the morning and was confronted by law enforcement soon after.
Sorry,
The
21 years
suspect
old.
was shot after he allegedly pointed his gun at the officers when ordered to drop it. No one else was hurt, and the investigation is ongoing. President Trump was at
Crystal,
the White
how
House
are
in
you?
D.C., of course, during the incident. Joining us now live in West Palm Beach with the latest is Dana Marie McNichol. Tell us what you got, Dana. Hey, good evening, Tommy. Well, security remains high here at Mar-a-Lago as authorities close down the road next to the north gate. That's the same gate the 21-year-old from North Carolina used to enter Mar-a-Lago. How he got past security still remains unclear.
How to get past
President
security?
Trump was in Washington, D.C. last night, so his motive remains uncertain. Investigators are looking into whether he bought the shotgun on his way down to Florida. Martin's family in North Carolina reached out to the Moore County Sheriff's Office and reported
Steve
him
says
missing
Trump hired a
today at
YouTuber.
1:38
He can
in the
hire me.
morning. Now, the timing of this report from his relatives is notable because according to authorities here on the ground, Martin entered Mar-a-Lago at 1:30 a.m. when he was confronted. So let's take a look at the map here. The area surrounding Mar-a-Lago neighbors expensive homes that most likely have highly technical security systems with camera. The FBI is asking the neighbors for help to look at their security footage as the agency is taking over the investigation. Now, former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino says retracing Martin's movements is critical.
Either got out of a car, that car had a license plate, he got out of an Uber, left a hotel room. Once you start to backtrack and build the video crime scene in reverse, and there's a large network of security cameras, private and public, down there, that's how you're going to get an ident.
Now, Secret Service Director Curran has boarded a flight and is on his way to Florida right now to lead after-action reports on the ground. And Tommy, the sheriff office here say that the deputies that responded were wearing body cameras. So we are hoping that they do release that footage soon so we get a better idea of how this all transpired.
I'm hungry, Crystal.
Nickel, thank you so much for all your wonderful reporting. We appreciate it.
All right, so
well, President Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago during this frightening altercation. It does bring back horrible memories of other assassination attempts against him. On July 13th, 2024, we all remember it, 20-year-old Thomas Crooks shot President Trump during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And then just...
So what do we do, guys? 21-year-old in Butler, both are deceased, families without a son. How do we stop it? Can we stop it? Do we need to have more conversations with our children? What do we do with this politics? Should we shorten the news? Should news just report the news 30 minutes a day? Do we got to do better as a nation on future presidents? Should the presidents be saying more on both sides? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? You heard Dan Bongino. He probably got dropped off by an Uber or something. The good news is, you know, they took him out. They probably didn't want to take him out, but they took him out because if that fire, for those who are coming in, he had gasoline. He was going to start a fire. He was going to take out the whole golf course, everybody. There's homes there. Again, President Trump was not there. He was in Washington. But still, nonetheless, it's an attempt on the President of the United States. 3 times now. 3 times. Good comment, Sandra. Maybe the video games, maybe they got to modify some of the games that are being played. Maybe it's not even the video game's fault. Maybe it's, you know, the person who's playing the video games. Again, maybe we have to have more conversations where we got to limit our kids on how much time they go online. The black market and video games as well. Absolutely, Ozzy. Now, Dustin's making a little, getting some spaghetti drained over here. Crystal's got some chili with jalapeno for the mom. We got people cooking on this Sunday. People cooking, enjoying your Sunday. Crystal, just got yours. I'm going to look at it real quick. That looks damn good. I had a little tuna fish. I got to watch my diet. Baked spaghetti, Sal. Baked spaghetti. Sal, you should make it. It's really good. I think I'm going to make it tomorrow now. Let's see here. Tracer says video games, music, and the movies are not the issue. It's how the kids are raised. Yeah, you know, Tracer, I would have to say that's 90% of it. I agree. Let's just get that. I agree with you. But I still think we got too much video games. Let me just say this. It doesn't mean playing video games are going to make you a go crazy, right? But I think too much is not good of the video games or internet or anything else, in my opinion. So we need to evaluate that. And I think it starts when they're younger, but it's never too late. Let's see. Anything too much is not good. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also think, you know, we got these days is a little different from the 70s. Not that these things didn't happen in the 70s. But there was more conversation. You didn't have 2 people working. Normally one person worked in my house. It was my father. It was the 80s where it took 2 people to work. You know, you got both parents working. Divorce rate's high. I mean, we can go on and on, but I won't. But I do know this. Even if that is the case, you're working, you're divorced, all it takes is you call your son if they're living somewhere else and ask them, how's everything? I haven't seen you in a while. How's school? How's work? What's going on? And if they live in your house and they're 10, they're 20, 50, in between, How many hours you been playing over here? I've been playing about 2 hours. Okay, giving you 10 minutes. And if you're not off in 10 minutes, we'll take the game away. But yeah, we got to work on that conversation. And even with all that said, I think when I say conversation, we need to explain to them about the politics on just because you are a Democrat or you're a Republican or you don't do these things. You know, we don't have threats on the presidents or anybody. We also got our ass whooped. Yeah, that's so true, Ozzy. Yeah, I mean, I've said this, a lot of you, I might have said this before. I answer back at my mom one time. If she didn't spank me, my father, eventually he would come home from a cold beer or 2 or 3. And he'd whip my ass, but not just whip it in my house. He'd whip it outside and make sure all the kids in the neighborhood seen that. And I never answered back. Again. With a belt or a switch or a tree branch. I mean, you know. So, and I'm not encouraging anybody that's out there that are raising kids to do that. Not at all. But we just got to have that more of a lecture. Punishment. Punishments don't even hold anymore. You know? Punishments. They say they're punished for 1 hour. Oh, they're on timeout. What timeout? Timeout. How about timeout for a week? You know? But anyhow, yeah, I mean, we gotta do what we could because these kids, as of late, are in their 20s that are doing these things, you know? Charlie Kirk assassination. Younger. A belt or a switch. Liz says anything near our parents' hands. Crystal says her butt was sore. Extension cords, so on and so forth. We learn. Ozzy Crosby, yep, I got the belt. Even have my mouth washed out with soap. Yes, the soap. Absolutely. My grandfather got that soap, I forget, I think it was Dial soap, all in my mouth. Mouthing off, so. Now, again, guys, just because kids are playing video games, maybe your kids are mouthing off, maybe they're just having trouble in school, it doesn't mean that they're going to do these horrible things. I just want to put that out there. We all know that's not the truth. But we do need to spend a little bit more time and see what's going on in their mind. Otherwise, we're going to have more of these events and more parents losing their kids. And again, same thing with Charlie Kirk. Irish Spring soap. Yep, Irish Spring. Green Irish Spring soap they got now. The wooden spoon. Yep, Sandra. My mom, she would cook the gravy. We call it gravy sauce. She would just slap my ass with that. She would say, it's time to eat. And I would ignore her. Hey, it's time to eat. I said, I'll eat when I want to eat. She said, what'd you say? That spoon with the gravy? Boom. I still have the stain on my butt, the scars. So yeah, a lot of these things that we're saying on here can help out a little bit, I think. Hey, welcome in LGBT for Trump. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, there's so many assassination attempts on President Trump. And again, the reason there's so many on President Trump is because he's just exposed. He's out there. I mean, how many other presidents we've had to speak almost every day? Every day. Like 300 days a year, he's speaking, he's talking, he's, and the more he's exposed out in the public and you don't have anybody on the other side stepping in to examine this. They don't have to come out and say, oh, you need to support Trump. No. But what they should be saying is, he's the president of the United States. How do we get control of Congress and the president? Well, how about we change it? How about we go out and vote? How about we explain? So both sides, though. Both sides need to communicate. As far as communication goes, but that's why President Trump's getting more attempts. Sal, what the heck's going on in Mexico? Yeah, they took out the drug cartel guy out there. So I haven't heard anything from President Trump. Speaking about Trump, I haven't heard him say, was that the United States that had something to do with it? Because remember, we were covering on My Thoughts. We took out Maduro. He wants to also help out Mexico because they've been taken over. the Mexico government has been taking control of the drug cartel. And now they took out the leader, have a B over here, sorry guys, of Mexico. So we'll have to wait and hear what Donald Trump later on comes out and says on that. We'll keep an eye on that. I got bees, I got gnats. What the hell's going on today?
2 months later, then 58-year-old Ryan Ruth hid for 12 hours at Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach with a rifle, waiting to take a shot at Trump. Ruth has been sentenced to life in prison. Former FBI Deputy Director
remember Ryan
Dan
Ruth?
Bongino warned about the
Ryan
increase in
Ruth.
threats to President Trump earlier
Another
today.
one.
This is the harsh political environment we live in, that this particular president
Bongino.
seems to, it just drives a certain segment of the population absolutely nuts. I can tell you, having worked for
Summer
President
Sweet
Clinton,
Tea, yes.
President Bush,
Yes.
and President Obama, and then again, having worked for President Trump in this prior position, I've never seen anything like this. The threat atmosphere against this president is through the roof.
All right, Joey, so we still don't know the motive, right? Although it's at Mar-a-Lago, and it's well known that that's where President Trump...
I don't think we're going to know the motive. I don't know if we're ever going to know the motive because he's deceased, right? We'll know how he got there, whether it was an Uber, a Lyft, dropped off, whatever, rental car. They'll track down where he got the gun. They'll ask the parents, but I don't know if we'll ever know the motive. I don't know. I'm telling you what the motive is right here. The motive is what we just discussed for now 40 minutes, you know. And I'm not blaming the parents. It's not the parents' fault. But again, I think another part of it's the media. The media, both sides. Oh, it's happening in a lot of countries. What do you mean your country? It's happening in all countries. What happened to our world? Absolutely. Miriam. Beautiful name, Miriam. Interesting, Mr. Boston. I'm with you. I know. Not pre-packed. Homemade, Crystal. Yeah, what country are you from? Thanks for a response and listening, LGBT for Trump. All countries are going through this. The world we live in. It's across the board. Well said, Steve. Well said. High five, fist bump. John just gave welcome in, John. Yes, we're going to talk about that later on. I'm going to cover a little bit of that. I just wanted to come on and cover what's happening with Trump and get your thoughts on the assassination attempt. Now, 4 attempts already that we know about. South Africa, God bless. How's South Africa? How's South Africa? Absolutely, Ruby Rose. God bless you, Richard. I hear you, Andrew. My 12-year-old daughter and I are making the bread over here for 3 days. We enjoy each other this way. We need more of that. More of that right there. Spending time with your kids, making bread, watching movies, listening to music, having conversations. Richard, thank you. Richard says, I hate Trump, but I love my party. Appreciate you guys coming in. What's your thoughts? What do we do? What do we do as a nation? How do we prevent this? How do we prevent these 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 30-year-olds, these assassination attempts and taking out leaders and like Charlie Kirk and more attempts and on our president? South Africa is good at the moment. The president is failing the citizens. Yeah, we will talk about it, guys. Have your notifications set. We're going to talk about what's going on in Mexico. I want to get a little bit more information on that. Once again, in Mexico, what's going on in Mexico? They took out the drug cartel leader. Does that have anything to do with the United States? Did President Trump have any influence on that? I don't think anything. Don't read too much into Mexico and his 21-year-old. That's separate. Okay? But yes, we have some developing story in Mexico. Also, in Nancy Guthrie disappearance and kidnapping. Not much more except for a volunteer that are looking on public desert off the highway. Nothing more on that. Still a mystery on Nancy Guthrie. Because if we don't, I mean, right now, President Trump should be probably, I'm surprised he hasn't put out a tweet on Mexico yet. He'll probably come live later, but I'm sure he's also saying, how the hell did this happen? How the hell did this happen at the place at my house where my wife, where my kids come, where I sleep, have a 21-year-old get that close? You know? What do we do for future politicians? How do we stop this? So, I'm sure he'll come on and address the nation later on or tomorrow. State of the Union is Tuesday, yes. Hello, hello. For those who are saying hi, welcome in. More security, more security. Sounds like Corleone, the Godfather. True. Where I sleep, where my children play. Can't trust our government. What's your thoughts? We're so divided, which is one thing, but to be divided and have hate in our youth, in particular our youth, that are making these attempts on the president and public, Charlie Kirk and many more. I mean, there's been threats on my life. I don't talk about it a lot. Big time. I mean, where's it stop? Where's it stop where people can, you know, what do they think? We're not human? You know, where's it stop to just say, hey, you know, I don't care for the president, but how am I going to fix it? I'm going to go out and vote. I'm going to vote opposite on either side. That's where it stops. If you don't like what somebody's saying on the news, go to another channel. If you don't like news, go to a sports. You don't like sports? Go on YouTube. Go watch a Western movie. Put on Johnny Cash. I don't know what to tell you, but we need to make some changes. Otherwise, it's going to get worse before it gets better, folks. I hate to think that way. Now, did it happen in the 60s? Sure. Did it happen in the 70s? Absolutely. The 80s, but not like it's happening now. Mr. 10 Ball is in the house and says, hello. Hello. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and get your thoughts on the President Trump's assassination attempt once again at Mar-a-Lago. He wasn't there, thank God. Thank God he wasn't there. But innocent people, if he was there, it could have been worse. If the fire would have started, it could have been much worse today. So, all hell is breaking in Mexico and Iran. Yeah, we're going to be covering some of that later on. Later on, if I got some time, we're going to be covering that on a live. LGBT, yeah, one of my favorite places too. I'm going there on my birthday, LGBT. My wife is, we're going to go there and spend a week in Vermont, Boston. I got to say, Boston is one of the cleanest cities by far. I was scrolling, hoping to find somebody live in Mexico. Yeah, Linda, I haven't seen any. I looked to see if there was anybody vertical live or whatever what's going on in Mexico with the drug cartel who got shot and killed. Yeah, Ryan, I'll be in Vermont for 2-3 days. We're renting a house there. Yeah, it is. You know, you think like I do, LGBT. It is cleaner than Philly. However, real quick, Philly's got the best Italian food. Boston's got their lobster and this, that, whatever, and felt very welcome there, very clean, but nothing like Philly as far as the food goes and the people there too. Yeah, I want to see. I haven't looked. We're talking about Mexico a little bit. What's going on, but haven't seen much of anything live there. So I will. What I'll do is after this live, I'll do some homework and see if there's anybody that is live and wants to share anything. Yeah, Linda, I seen a little bit of a search in Tucson, but nothing more than just people looking, picking up some plastic bags. And of course, we have been covering that, Nancy Guthrie, now for 2 weeks. A mystery. Did they find more gloves today? Gloves everywhere. People are finding gloves every day. What's going on with all the gloves? Gloves everywhere on the street, everywhere. So, gloves. Oh, Benny Johnson's covering Mexico. Check it out. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you. Maybe I'll check out Benny Johnson. We'll see what's going on. I got to be careful with some copyrights with some of these guys, though. Some of them don't mind. We'll see what's going on with that. Maybe we can cover it and correspond and give our views on it. I'll check out Benny Johnson. But yeah, some of the YouTubes, I got to be careful with problems with copyrights and stuff. But I'll check into it. Thank you. Absolutely, Linda. Yeah. I'm pretty positive, pretty confident that President Trump will talk about 2 events today. Maybe 3, at least 2. One on the assassination of his life again, even though he wasn't there. It's assassination, attempt. 2, will he share any input on his thoughts on what's happening in Mexico? Was the U.S. behind it? Were we not behind it? Maybe he won't say much. Maybe he doesn't want to tell. So, but I'm pretty confident later on we'll hear a little bit more of what's going on in Mexico about the drug cartel leader. Andrew, thanks for asking. The head drug cartel in Mexico was shot and killed last night or early this morning. So we're just going back and forth on that. And I said it because Mexico is desperately asking for President Trump's help. That's right. Saying, hey, help us out. Help us out. We're being run by the Mexican drug cartels. So I said it. It's going to happen. We're going to probably take out some of those people, and we are. But is the United States have anything to do with it? Or will they just say, we're not going to respond? We're just going to sit back. Yes, LGBT. Yeah, it's about 6 times. But I mean, 3 serious, 3, 4. They're all serious. But yeah. Heavy Hook. Welcome in, welcome in. The CIA runs the cartels? Yeah, well, Mexico doesn't want that stuff going through Mexico. They don't want it. They don't want it. All the countries want President Trump's help. If you think about it, they want his help. Oh, Heavy Hook, thanks for asking. We're just covering the how we're going to prevent these 20, 21-year-olds who was shot and killed by Secret Service security of President Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Now it's been at least 6 attempts, 3 majority's attempts, and also Charlie Kirk are young 20, 21, 22-year-olds, and how we can make things better for the young generation. There's video games apart, and we just been going back and forth, and now we're talking about Mexico and the drug cartel as they shot and killed him. 2 different stories, I believe, nothing to do with one. I think we just have a mentally disturbed 21-year-old. Maybe he was set up. Maybe somebody told him to go do it. We don't know. What was the motive? But I think they're separate. So, busy weekend for bad stuff. Yeah, let's hope for some good stuff. Let's hope that we get some good things happening. We got the State of the Union coming up on Tuesday. Hopefully they can find out more information on Nancy Guthrie. And hopefully we can find out more details exactly on Mexico. Was it another cartel? Maybe it was the cartel themselves taking out the leader. We don't know. We don't know. But I'm assuming that Trump will come on and make a statement on his assassination attempt again and on Mexico. A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, any more details on that, Heavy Hook? Any more details on, other than volunteers looking for a search on Nancy Guthrie, clues, remains, whereabouts, kidnappers, anything that we might not know you want to share with us? Hold on, because I like to do this when somebody says this. I like to do this when somebody says something, I don't know. But the person who says cigars, here's what I got to say to you. Blow some smoke right up your ass. Check the guy's hard drive. Yeah. Absolutely. Cigars are very good for you. Very good. Oh, really? Ladies are going to go. Oh, was it the 2 Mexican ladies or Latinos? Ladies are going to be charged with trespass. Oh, is that the 2 ladies that were on JLR real quickly, Heavy Hook, that they're going to get charged with trespassing? Good for you, Mr. One Boston. God bless. Do whatever you feel that you want to do. I think the sheriff is just waiting. He's probably waiting for like a YouTuber. He would love a YouTuber or a local media regarding the Nancy Guthrie. Real quick, we'll switch topics if we could. He's waiting for somebody to do some trespassing. But if it's on public ground, there's not much he can do. If it's in somebody's in their home, yes. But I don't know how much he can do. Pima County, I don't think he can do anything if you're. But I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting for somebody so he can have a distraction. The sheriff. Sheriff Nanos on Nancy Guthrie. He's waiting for somebody to trespass and then put it out there to make and call all the YouTubers out or call out a news out. Oh, so it was in the neighbors. The neighbors didn't get permission. Oh, well, that's a different story then. You got to get communication. So okay. Yeah, if it's the neighbors, you got to get, hey, can I come in your yard? Can I check? You got to get that you got to get some kind of communication or something. So well said, Mr. One Boston, but you're going to have people out there. I just learned to brush them off. In 10 minutes, we'll see everything breaks into Mexico. I am. I hate to put Mike on a spot. Mike's like, what? You're not putting me on a spot. Or Crystal. That's probably the fifth person every time now. It's not what he's saying or she's saying. It's like over and over. You know what I mean? Over and over and over, and eventually you get tired of it. Absolutely, Mr. One Boston. That's it, right there. You don't have to explain yourself. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. I am a Republican, but not MAGA. Appreciate your comment. Thank you for being here. Hey, real quick, Boston. So I go for my physical once a year. I got a Cuban doctor. He says, yo, I had 5 years, stop smoking a cigar. He goes, by the way, did you bring me one? So, all right. God bless you, Mr. One Boston. It's a pleasure having you today. I like your energy. I like your thoughts. Mitch, thank you for your comment. Iranka. Yeah, we're going to be covering that later on, guys. I want to hear what Trump has to say. I want to get some more details on what's happening in Mexico and the drug cartel. And are we exposing? Is that going to be the end of the Mexico cartel? I don't know, but we'll see what's going on. Did the United States have anything to do with that? We've seen what happened to Maduro. Oh, by the way, with Maduro, I want to bring everybody up to date. So his wife found out she's healing from broken ribs. So I guess when they captured her, she had some ribs broken. I heard that just yesterday. Maduro. And his wife was just as bad, by the way. Maduro's wife, she was just as bad as him. Talking about the drug cartels. It was a drug cartel, Heavy Hook. One of the leaders. One of the leaders on the drug cartel. Yeah, it is. It's a little rascal hat, Ozzy. We call it now, and I should just, yeah. Little rascal's cap. Yes, the head guy, the head drug guy, Heavy Hook. Mr. Tenball, thanks for responding. What we got over here? This is not Mitt Romney, McCain, or even Bush, Republican Party anymore. We have no room. Absolutely. Well, I-5 fist bump. That's why a lot of people voted for Trump. I think people were tired of what direction we're going in with the Democrat Party. I think people were tired of the Bush. People were tired of Clinton's. People were tired of Mitt Romney. People were just tired of politics. And do you have politics with President Trump? Absolutely. But at least you have a person who's real, who's out there. He's not perfect, but out there trying every day. And why is President Trump having more attacks? Because he's out there. He's speaking more than any president in our lifetime. He's speaking all the time. And more you speak, and try to get points across, the more risk of you being attacked by a 21-year-old, 31-year-old. In this case, it's been younger people attacked. I personally think my point on the Butler, and I wish that would get exposed. My opinion. I don't think that 21-year-old in Butler, we know he did it, but I believe somebody else was behind it. And I'm not saying the Democrats were behind it. I'm just saying there was more behind it. I'm not so sure I rule out Iran. I'm just saying there was more to it, and I wish that would get exposed. I don't know if we're ever going to hear the full detail on that for obvious reasons. Hoseman, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for your support. Yeah, a little different topic today. For those who subscribed to me covering the Nancy Guthrie, we're going to go back and cover it, but I wanted to talk about something that is real important right now, and that's the assassination on President Trump like 6 times now, LGBT for Trump says before Trump, the GOP wasn't much different from the Democrats. Wow. That's a high five fist bump. So well said. I believe it's a distraction. What's the distraction? Sorry. We're talking about different topics. I wasn't being smart. What's the distraction? Of the Trump assassination attempt? Diane says, I believe most were not real. Welcome in, Diane. Really? The assassination? I got pigeons all over the place. I'm looking to my right because my wife, she likes to feed the pigeons. And I got pigeons all over the place over here. Pigeons everywhere. Everybody has different thoughts on... You see, though, everybody has different thoughts on politics. But you see, in most part, nobody's threatening anybody. Birds everywhere. Nobody... See, this is why. I mean, people are just voicing their opinion on live, you know? The only problem I have is when somebody repeats it over and over. I don't mean twice, but 3 times. But when you repeat something over and over, or you threaten anybody on here, or the leadership of our nation, or our Democrat, anybody. And that goes for that piece of shit Chuck Schumer. I said piece of shit, but no threats on anybody. So we don't do that on this channel. We don't threaten anybody. You know, Nancy Pelosi's husband or anybody. All right, let's continue. We'll continue a little bit longer. Pigeons everywhere, Mike. What do you want from me? Wife likes to feed the pigeons. Birds, pigeons, everything. Voice your opinion? Absolutely. Don't care for Trump? Okay. But to wish harm on any leaders, popes, or anybody else? Absolutely not. Doris, do you really? It has to stop. And I think most of us on here who have kids, young adults, grandkids, we need to let them know. I'll have to put you in contact with my wife. She does all that. She does the bird shopping. Heavy hook. Hope Adrian's doing well. Yeah, she knows about where to get the birds at and when to get them. Supposedly you get the birds, the parrots, in your case, young. Chuck Schumer is escape garden. Yeah, you got to get anybody who wants parrots. You got to get them like within 2-3 weeks and feed them and all that, and then they'll show you more love and you can train them better. Opposed to like if they're like 2 months old, you can still do it, but you're gonna get more. My wife knows all about it. You'll get more respect from the bird, from the parrot. At least the parrots, anyhow. Pigeons, I don't know what the heck you do. Want to see the pigeons, guys? Take a walk. Pigeons flying away. They're scared of me. See? She feeds the pigeons. Look, they ate all their food. She gives them all food. Pigeons. My wife. Let's see what's going on in Mexico. Let's see what's going on in Mexico today. Let's see what they got, any new updates on the drug cartel.
Know that walk anywhere.
Welcome to the Senate Tulsa Privilege to see you here.
Oh my God.
No, pigeons can't be trained.
Likewise.
You know, when I first met you, you said to me that you wanted to help out.
They can't be trained, Ozzy. Or Heavy Hook, excuse me. Heavy Hook. They can't be trained.
Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that
Hold on, guys. Let's see if we can find anything.
And ensure the safety of all of our patrons.
Jersey Shore.
For our residents.
Blizzard
Please
conditions.
Make all of your final preparations now.
Ocean City,
Fill up
New
your
Jersey.
vehicle with a full tank of gas.
When I was young,
Charge all of your
I'd go there and we'd spend time in the Jersey Shore. They're going to get a blizzard. Blizzard conditions in Jersey, Delaware, Boston. Mindy, yes. The girls and the men. Golds. First time the men's got a gold since 1980. Where were you at in 1980? So, yeah, those are the hockey teams. Anybody else watching a little bit of Olympics? Golds. Gold medal. That's good. Trump says, congratulations. Now, he has not talked about Mexico. He has not tweeted anything on about his assassination attempt, even though he wasn't in Mar-a-Lago. 5 p.m. lookout in Mexico. Jersey Shore officials give update on severe winter storm. The blizzard is stretching from Maryland to Maine. Stay home, guys. Get your bread. Get your spaghetti. Get your chili. Get your food. The only good news is it's going to warm up. It's going to warm up, I believe, next week. See what's going on.
This person is a mastermind, unhinged, or what? But they are normalizing this violence. It's got to stop.
Yes, a shocking scene at Mar-a-Lago early this morning is raising new concerns over the safety of President Trump, as a gunman was shot by law enforcement after allegedly breaching the secure perimeter. Hello, everyone. I am Tommy Lahren, along with Joey Jones, Molly Line, Mark Teese, and this is the second hour of the Big Weekend Show. So President Trump was at the White House during this altercation in which 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin was allegedly carrying a shotgun and a fuel can when he breached the perimeter. Law enforcement says he was shot after he ignored instructions to drop his weapon, instead raising it. Back with us is Dana Marie McNichol, live in West Palm Beach, Florida. Dana Marie, what's the latest?
What's the latest?
Hi, Tommy. Good evening. We're learning more about Austin Tucker Martin, who traveled all the way from North Carolina to enter Mar-a-Lago armed. His family this morning filed a missing persons report around the same time he entered Mar-a-Lago at 1:30 this morning at the North Gate. What communication they had or knowledge about his plan is still unclear. The AP reports, according to a Secret Service spokesman, Martin drove into Mar-a-Lago as another car was exiting. Now, people trespassing Mar-a-Lago isn't exactly rare. Just last summer, a 23-year-old man jumped the wall, telling authorities he wanted to marry President Trump's granddaughter. And then in September, another woman was arrested after allegedly trying to trespass on property. So here is former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino.
Every time you think you've forgotten about the last assassination attempt, another lunatic shows up at your property looking to kill you and your family. I mean, can you imagine the stress that's got to be inducing? Yeah. He's a man.
So far, we have not heard from the president about this incident, but we did hear from his press secretary, who said in part, Secret Service acted quickly and decisively to neutralize.
See, I think a lot of people don't understand that. Not only he's the president of the United States, it's a human being. I think sometimes particularly the young people, older people too, they look at a YouTuber, a president, a pope, and they think they're human. You don't have to support them. You don't have to follow politics. But we got to come together. We got to teach. We got to have more conversations with our youth. We got to be better role models, and we got to explain to them that we don't do these things, that they're human. They're human. It's not the American way. It's not the American way to go and assassinate leaders like Charlie Kirk or President Trump now 6 times. We don't do these things. We don't kidnap people, you know. Are we going to still have all these things after what I just said? Yes, but we can definitely cure some of it. Come on, Max. Want to come outside? Jim Rat, how are you? Good to see you, Jim Rat. Amen, Diane.
A crazy person. Federal law enforcement are working 24/7 to keep our country safe and protect all Americans. It's shameful and reckless that Democrats have chosen to shut down their department. And back out here live, Tommy, the Secret Service Director Curran, we know he's on his way down to Florida to sit in on debriefings. The FBI have taken over this investigation and have asked neighbors in this area to check their security cameras to see if they can help with anything.
Dana Marie McNichol in what looks like a windy Florida. Thank you so much. All right, now turning to the historic blizzard blanketing the Northeast in snow. We're so tired of it. A state of emergency has been declared.
Heavy Hook,
across New
thank
York
you.
State.
Thank you. Stop
When
it.
look at
Thank
the
you. You
scale
do a
of the
lot.
storm
Thank
that's
you. You don't have to
descending
do
in
that.
our state,
Appreciate
and
it.
actually in some parts starting already. This
And once again, they're talking about the blizzard, so I'll bring that up once again. If you're back east right now, including some of my family, stay safe. Let's pray for everybody and take it in. And hope that you guys have food and water, coffee, and all that good stuff, cigars. Andrew says, I'm in Boston. Yeah, I think Boston should get it tonight or tomorrow. So this is a bigger storm. Well, it's not widespread like the last one, but it's pretty big. It's going right down. Looks like they keep saying Ocean City, New Jersey, Atlantic City, New Jersey, as far as the blizzard condition. What's going on, Max? You want a treat? Want a treat? Come here. Come here, boy. We are all in the exact same boat. Yeah, LGBT. But it's not uncommon that we get back east gets these storms. It is a storm of a decade, but I remember living there when I was young, and these storms would come even in March. So, weather is unpredictable. They want to know if I'm Jewish. No, I'm Italian. $1978, yes. Yeah, I was 12 years old. I had remember the sleds? The old-fashioned sleds with the metal, and just went down the mountains. Weather's just unpredictable. We had some crazy weather here in Las Vegas. What's my opinion on Epstein with Israel? There's involvement. Sicilian, yes. Close that door. Italians are good people, like pasta. So are the Jewish. So are the Germans. So are the blacks. So are the Hispanics. So on and so forth. Bottom of the boot. Bottom of the boot. Yep. So my family, for the exception of my grandfather, my dad's side, he was from Naples. Although the majority of them are all from Sicily. The dog had to go. The dog had a little bowel movement. He had to do it right now while I'm live. He couldn't do it before. You got to go. You got to go. At least he goes outside. The Sicilians are generally Greek. Yeah, it was Greek. It was Greek at one time. It was Greece, rather. It was Greece. Can you clean that up? See how I tell my kids? Clean it up. They don't listen. But when they do listen, they live in my house. They will respect on how much time they spend on the internet. They live in my house. They're going to pay rent. Heavy hook. Meanwhile, I got my neighbors playing music outside. I'm going to get copyrights. They can do whatever they want. It's their house. Yeah, heavy hook. I don't mess around. They want to be a Democrat, they can be a Democrat. But they're going to respect in my house. Sandra, thank you. To help out a little bit. We appreciate that, Sandra. I'll pass that along and help out the homeless. We'll feed another homeless. Sandra, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. We'll spread the love to the homeless people tomorrow once again. For those who are new, we help out the homeless. So check out the homeless shorts when you get a chance, today or tomorrow. We have short clips every day. They still haven't cleaned up the dog mess. They still haven't. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Yeah, so tonight, guys, we'll probably come back live. We'll keep certainly keep an eye on Nancy Guthrie, see if there's any new clues. But we'll certainly keep an eye. Probably going to talk more about what's happening in Mexico, since a lot of you have been asking about Mexico and the drug cartel leader who was shot and deceased on a live for YouTube. And we'll also keep up any updates with President Trump on any more. What was the motive? What was the motive behind this 21-year-old? Why did he bring gasoline to try to set Mar-a-Lago on fire and to assassinate President Trump, who was not there? He was at the White House. So we'll talk about a couple different things. I think our title will probably be Mexico drug cartel or something like that. So look for that if you guys care or want to come back later on tonight. Hello, Michelle. Mexico's going crazy right now. Taz B, welcome in. Appreciate you. New York don't have palm trees. No, they don't. But they got good Italian restaurants. We got palm trees here in Vegas, though. I wish I never put them in. Pain in the ass, speaking of palm trees. So thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it once again. Thank you so much. You know, I want to, I wish I could remember the comment. It was somebody, I believe it was somebody recently who came on as a subscriber. Guys, I enjoy all the comments, guys. The haters, I like to read them all. And there was a good comment about helping the homeless, and I believe it was a female. It had a female's name, and it said in the sense of, thank you for what you do, but more importantly, I'm glad you don't judge. Give them money, whatever they want to do with it, whether it's coffee or beer, because they're going to get it anyhow. I mean, I try to stick with just food and stuff, but every now and then, if I have a few bucks, I'll help them out. I wish I could do more. With all your help, it really makes things possible. I couldn't do it without you. But anyhow, it was a good comment because, you know, they are human. Speaking of mental illness on these assassinations and everything. Hey, Richard Howie, good to see you, my friend. High five, fist bump. We're going to continue, and you know, just my opinion. You guys could think different. That's your opinion. I used to feel different about homeless, but I don't ask them any questions. If they want help, I'll help them as much as I can. Try to give them a nonprofit. You know, if I have a little bit of extra, I'll get them a hotel. But you know, if they want to get it, they're going to get it anyhow. So you know, they're human. A lot of different situations. So we're going to continue. It was a good comment. So thank you. I forget the name of that person, but it was a really nice comment. John, how are you? They still haven't cleaned the dog. Clean this dog mess up. You gotta yell, guys. Gotta yell at them. These damn kids are so lazy. What a different generation, huh? They butchered my neighbor's palm trees yesterday. I'm ready to take mine the hell out, Linda, but they cost a lot of money. They're like $1,000 to take them out. It was the worst thing I did, having palm trees. We're on this. Jay Parker, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hey, thank you for the 100 likes. Appreciate it, guys. It's just a small little YouTube channel, a little small topic. Not a small topic, a very important topic, excuse me. On the assassination attempt on President Trump. Whether you support Trump or not, well, we don't support these assassination attacks on either side. On governors, on any of them. Even on Tim Walz. A lot of you know how I feel about Tim Walz. Right? I'm not going to get into it. But not even on him. Kathy, I'm doing good tonight. Thanks for asking. Doing all right. Beautiful day. Join the live here. Absolutely, Michelle. Absolutely. Not all of them, Michelle, right? I mean, I know you're not. I mean, there's some good. I mean, my kids are good. They respect. They hold the door. Common sense. But, we gotta wake this generation up, and we certainly gotta communicate with them. And said all that, you can't blame the parents when these kids like this 21-year-old who lost his life at a young age, now the parents without a son, to make these assassination attempts and do something crazy like that. But all we can do is try to communicate with them the best we can. We got to have more communication. For me, the communication is not like it was in the 70s or 80s or even the 90s. There's just a lack of communication, so much hate. If one thing, hating a politician, but another thing to take acts of action. You know what I mean? That draws the line. That draws the line. When you go and drive to the president of the United States where he lives, sleeps, that draws the line on either side. Sal, I threw a hat out like yours. Oh, really? You didn't like it? Why not? What's going on in Florida? A little bit of wind? I'm a nurse working. I'm a nurse. First of all, thank you. Thank you for being a nurse. Working at a shift at a VA. Shout out to the veterans. I have the vets here with me. They say hello. Hey, tell all the vets, God bless, and thank you so much for your service. Thank you. We wouldn't be here on this live. Thank you. And I know a lot of them are saying, thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for being a nurse and taking care of the veterans, men and women that we have on here today. Moderators like Crystal and many others. They're a veteran. God bless the veterans, huh? We grew up respecting our elders. I'm a baby boomer, Sandra said. I'm a baby boomer. That's right. Absolutely, Heavy Hook. God bless the veterans. Great men and women out there who served our country or serving our country. Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. Men and women serving our country. Amazing work you're doing. All right. Read a few more guys, and then I'm going to, speaking of food, I think I'm going to get a little something to eat, and then I think I'll get some information on Mexico, or maybe we get some video out there of somebody in Mexico maybe, and we'll cover it. Mark, welcome in. Good to see you, Mark. Light Switches, how are you today? God bless you. Yeah, God bless the men and women who won the gold in U.S. hockey. First time the men won it since 1980. God bless both. They did good. Won the gold over Canada. Canada gets the silver. Shout out to them. Well, shout out to the United States who won the gold. I think it was 2-1. 2-1. USA big wins. The girls was great. That was an incredible comeback. I watched that. Girls figure skaters. I love watching that. I enjoy that as well. Bobsled, I love that too. I got to watch more. I've been slacking off a little bit because I'm doing these lives and Nancy Guthrie, but I got to watch. We all should just spend a little time and watch 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of Olympics. Pre-recorded at night, live during the day, right? Oh, did she win? PRJ 3-5-5-3, the girl figure skater. She won. She won the gold? Shit, I'll watch that later. Was she great? They're so strong, have much passion. That's not easy, guys, to be in the Olympics, just to be there, let alone to win a gold or silver or a bronze. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. We'll see you again. Have a great day. She loves America. Good. That's even better. They should. They should. They got incredible strength, incredible bodies, and amazing men and women. Pigeons. Pigeons are back. Yeah, everybody have a blessed day today. Once again, my name is Sal. If you're new, we appreciate it. Like, if you enjoy the content, only if you enjoy it, like, and subscribe if you haven't. We've been covering the Nancy Guthrie for about 2-3 weeks now. I said 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're talking now about Trump's assassination. God bless Minnesota. Kathleen, 4579 in the house. Appreciate everybody from everywhere. Great. Love these lives. People from everywhere. If you're back east right now, stay safe. Enjoy the blizzard. Here, 70 degrees, warm in Las Vegas. Do I miss the snow? Yes. Why do you live in Vegas? Don't know why. No, I hate shoveling it and driving in it. Right back to you, Heavy Hook. Always good to see you. Love having you. Really do. Love having everybody. Germany. United States. Germany's good too. Great athletes from all countries, guys. All over. Chris. Jay Green, right back. And thank you for that membership. Thank yous all for the memberships, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you, to make these lives all possible, and whatever we can do to spread some love and help out the homeless when we can. I thank you. It's not unnoticed. Thank you so much. Drinking a little red wine and snow tonight. I missed that, Michelle. The red wine and snow. I do not. Peace. God bless the homeless. We got to work on that. We got to work. When I say we, politicians, both sides need to do more on mental illness. Helping out the homeless when we can. We can't solve all of them, but if we can help 5%, 10%, that's better than 0%, right? Snow back east. I reach out to my uncle. I said, what's going on? He says, snow. I said, well, enjoy it because I'm too old. No, you're not. Go out and enjoy it. Go play in the snow and have a cigar. Have a glass of wine with Michelle. Hello, everybody. Mini yard. Snow just started in New York. We're looking at 13 inches. Wow. Tony Miles, thanks for sharing that. Have a pizza. Enjoy the snow. Happy birthday to your daughter tomorrow. God bless her. Haven't seen her in a long time. Well, tell her on behalf of Sal and the YouTube, we wish her a happy birthday. Texas Proud stops in to say hi. Is also a member. High five, fist bump to you. You rock. Stay inside, Sandra says. Mark and Michelle. Yes, $1.99 for memberships a month. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your support. They're still looking for Nancy. Michelle says, thank you. I'm just enjoying my wine, listening to everybody, while listening to Sal and reading the comments and enjoying a YouTube live. One of the best out there. I'm only kidding, guys. I have a little sense of humor. Texas Proud, we're just covering the assassination attempt on Donald Trump now, 6 times, and he hasn't really put any information out on it. I'm sure he's definitely worried and has his thoughts. Also, we're covering the blizzard and the snow is what we're talking about now. And then, of course, in Mexico, they took out the leader of the drug cartel, which we might be covering later on tonight. Before my favorite program, Naked and Afraid. Love Naked and Afraid. One of my favorite shows. The only thing I really watch is Naked and Afraid. Should I go on there? Maybe. And that's what we're talking about, guys. Yeah, I like watching that. That comes on at 8. Tony Miles says, rewind that? Yeah, assassination on Donald Trump, 1:30 in the morning. He wasn't there at Mar-a-Lago, not the White House. He was at the White House. Yeah, Mark, I wish, but unfortunately, we were talking a little bit about that when we have these. I know I say 21-year-olds because they're the ones that have been doing these attacks of late, but it's all of us, all the world, naked in a thong. No, I would just take the thong off at that point, Mike. I know you're going to laugh. How about naked with a cigar? Naked with a cigar. I can see YouTube right now, their AI. Wait a minute. Let me step in. Somebody just said naked with a cigar. Let me look at this. Oh, he's got clothes on. Yeah, it's one of my... I enjoy watching it, guys. I love the... I know it's reality, but, it's good. I like watching it. I love camping. I love how they start the fires and all that. All right, we'll move on. Texas Proud's laughing. Gotta laugh, guys. Gotta laugh a little bit. We're alive. We should laugh. It helps you out. Meanwhile, the kids haven't cleaned up the dog mess. They're going to hear it. They're going to hear it. They're punished. Punished. Taking away their car. No driving their car. What's going on in Arizona, Miriam? Any updates in Tucson that you know of? Do you, Mike? What's your wife got to say about that? Huh? Oh, you've been married too long. I'm sure she's saying, go ahead. Go ahead there, husband. Andrew, what's going on in Houston? Howdy. What's going on in Houston? That's funny, John. Oh, the Eagles hoodie? Yeah, they were making fun of my Eagles hoodie the other night. They were calling me, they were saying I look cheap or something. I don't know. Barbecue? Barbecue in Houston? What do I think about Michael Jordan? The second best ever. Will Chamberlain, number one? Michael Jordan, one of a kind. Good. Good. Had a gambling problem, but he was a good basketball player. He was good. Michael Jordan was good. Both sides of the offense and defense. Amazing. America's always number one. By the way, Italy's doing a good job. I think Italy's doing a good job. Beautiful in Italy. Covering the Olympics. All right, guys, I'm going to read a few more comments, and then I'm going to go. I can't go yet. Natalie Hopkins. Hello, Natalie. Always good to see. Natalie's been following us for... How long you been following us, Natalie? A long time. It's nice to have you, Natalie Hopkins. Thank you for coming on and letting us know you are here and hopefully doing well today. Oh, Cosby was not playing? Was that why they won? They didn't win because they were just good? Thank you, Natalie. What's going on in Kentucky? Megan Moore. Kentucky. Heavy Hook, have a nice day. Maybe I'll see you later. If not, hey, shout out to Adrian, your son. Have a good day. Thank you for your support. Thanks for on behalf of YouTube and other YouTubers. Thank you. We'll see you later on. Yeah, I'm going to sign off in a few minutes, guys. I'll read a few more comments. I'll give you guys a few minutes to respond to you guys who are having a chat. Liz in UK, what's happening in beautiful UK today? Appreciate you. Or tonight, or this evening, I guess. Your daughter's in Florida, can't reach her? Well, hopefully you get in contact with her. Georgia in the house. What's going on, Robert? How do you pronounce it? Monticello, Georgia? Send me some Georgia peaches in the summer. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much. Not a great, huge turnout today, but that's fine. I can read more comments sometimes. I will have your notifications set if you enjoy it. We'll cover a little bit what's going on in Mexico tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have some wine. Enjoy the snow, whatever you enjoy. Back east. Be safe. Anybody's following Nancy Guthrie, if you hear anything, you guys can reach out to me on a comment or on Facebook Messenger. Okay? Anybody has anything breaking in Mexico, you can also reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. I'll try to respond. I check it at least 3 times a day. Once again, thank you for being here. I appreciate the likes. Thank you so much, Sandra, for the donation. And those who donation the gifts, appreciate you and the moderators. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on the next live. Take care, guys. God bless. I'm out. Bye-bye. Got to get on these kids, clean up this mess.